Hello everyone and welcome to Cinderful Gaming. I hope you're all doing well, I hope you're all staying safe, and most of all, I hope you're all fighting that war against the grey. Today's video, we're going to start collecting Warhammer Age of Sigmar Warcry, and today we're going to be taking a look at Miyari's Purifiers and how to start a Lumineth Realm Lords warband with this Underworld's warband. Now, in the recent Tome of Champions 2021, there were rules published for all of the season's Diachasm and previous characters inside, which is great. There's just so many extra pieces added into Warcry now because of this, and they're great ways to get into the game, get a bunch of different models available to you. You could definitely pick up many of these box sets and just create your own characters out of them, but you could also pick up your regular kits alongside to get you started in normal Warhammer Age of Sigmar as well. So in this video, we're going to first of all talk about Miyari's Purifiers, all the characters in that, what they bring to the table. We'll then look at some units we can bring into, and finally finish off with a little sample 1000 renowned warband for you to have a look at and see how you can build your own warband for Warhammer Age of Sigmar Warcry. Now, starting off, Miyari's Purifiers, we have Miyari Lightcaller. This is our wizard. That's our leader for our warband. He's got the generic sort of wizard attack. However, he does have a 7-inch range, so 3 to 7-inch range, 2 attacks, strength 3, 3/6 on the damage. Not too shabby. And then he's got 1-inch range, 3 attacks in close combat with strength 3, 1/4. Movement of 5 is nice. A defense of 3 is something you're just going to see a lot across the board for all of Lumineth. This is their big weakness, to have really low defense, but 20 wounds on him as well. Now, we do have the cool triple cooled Dazzling Light. Until the end of the battle round, you subtract 1 from the attack's characteristics to a minimum of 1 of attack actions made by enemy fighters that are within 6-inch of this fighter, and this is available to Miyari only. So he's a really cool centerpiece for the force. Now, backing him up, we've got some really cool pieces around. First of all, we've got Bahana. Bahana is pretty much our defensive combat piece. Now, it does have 3 attacks at strength 5, 2/4 for the damage, but it's a defense of 4 and 14 wounds. It's going to make him way more survivable than a lot of our other pieces. Aileen, the Mind's Edge, she's going to allow us to get Shining Company along with Senella. But the Mind's Edge, she has 3 attacks, strength 4, 2/5. She's a Venari Blade Lord, so she's going to have some of the cool rules that go along with the Blade Lords, which is really fun. So they've got some really interesting stuff that you can do with the Blade Lords. Her one is Perfect Strike that she can use. This fighter makes a bonus attack action for a quad. In addition, adds value with its ability to the damage of any hits allocated by criticals. So pretty cool there. Now we've also got Senella. She's a Sentinel, so a nice piece of archer. 2 shots, strength 3, 1/3 for damage. But we also have the ability to get some extra Shining Company rules when we use her alongside, which is just really nice. Now, this is a pretty solid warband. You've not got a lot of points in all this one, but you've got a good center of like a bunch of different pieces. This is one of the many warbands. I think you could definitely pick up 2 or 3 of these and just build your force out of this. With the extra hammers, bows, and swords, you've definitely got enough pieces in there to build a cool warband. But looking at some other pieces, let's go. And so the first one I want to point out is the Scenari Caligrave. Now, this is a piece that doesn't normally see the tabletop in Warhammer Age of Sigmar, but I really like him in Warhammer Age of Sigmar Warcry. The Realm Scribe ability is you are allowed for a triple, allows you to pick a point on the battlefield within 9-inch of this fighter and place a special token there. Until the end of the battle round, you subtract 1 from the damage points allocated by each critical hit from attack actions that target friendly fighters whilst they're within 6-inch of the center of that token. So this can be used in many different ways. You can obviously, if your opponents are really combat heavy force, put it and set up your force in defensive block, or you can indeed, if your opponent's trying to shoot you off the table, throw it out, get this character up the field in some cover, protect him, and then throw this out in the middle of your opponent's force and force him to have to spread out of their own position. So it's a really, really cool piece. Not to mention the model is absolutely amazing. My favourite Lumineth Realm Lords model. Now, Venari Aurelin Wardens and Venari Aurelin Sentinels are 2 pieces I really like to bring into the force. Cheap at 80 points, but they only have a defense of 3 and 8 wounds. They are pretty flimsy, but the Sentinels have 2 attacks at strength 3, 1/3 with a 15-inch range, and you've got 3 attacks at strength 3, 1/4 with the Venari Aurelin Wardens. I really like the Wardens, and their ability to get 4 on their crit damage is massive. The 3-inch range on those Wardens as well is really cool, and not forgetting you can use Shining Company with any of your Venari units. This includes the Blade Lord in Miyari's Purifiers. Shining Company is a double ability, and you can use this ability only if there are 2 or more friendly fighters with the Lumineth Rumblers faction rune mark and the Warrior rune mark within 1 inch of this fighter. Until the end of the battle round, you subtract 1 from the attack's characteristic of attack actions that target the friendly fighters within 1 inch. So you've got a whole bunch of debuff stuff. If your opponent's trying to get into your lines or trying to shoot, you can really debuff your opponent and make the most of your own attacks. Sentinels we've talked about as well, and now let's look at the Huracan wind charges. I think this is just a really essential piece. The rest of the stuff we sort of talked about in these Lumineth Rumlords warbands is definitely quite slow, so the Huracan wind charges bring in some much needed speed. A movement of 12, defense of 3 is not great, but 18 wounds definitely helps some way to alleviate that. They have an 8-inch range with their bows, 2 attacks, strength 4, 1/4 on their damage, once again that high crit value. And they've also got the cool ability Move Like the Wind. Until the end of this fighter's activation, this fighter can finish a disengage action within 1 inch of enemy units, and they can also use a double for Go Where the Wind Blows, add half the value of this ability to the move characteristic of that fighter. So really speeding up your Huracan wind charges here. Some really cool utility out of this unit. Looking at a sample force, so we're obviously in Lumineth Rumlords, and we've got Miyari, and then we've put in the Cenari Caligrave. But Hannah, Aileen, the Mind's Edge, and Sinella are pretty much our core, but then we've backed them up with 2 Orlan Wardens and 2 Sentinels and a Huracan Windcharger. How this force would really work on the table is you're playing a very defensive game with your Windcharger generally going around and helping break up play. Now, you would have Bahana as a really great counterpiece. So generally, you can have your probably Venari, Orlan Wardens, and Sinea, and Aileen all sort of together with the other Sentinels, Sinea and the Sentinels behind your 3 combat fighting units. The Windcharger and Bahana can be a great little piece to use. He's quite tough and can generally walk around by himself, or potentially protecting the Caligrave to get up if your opponent's trying to shoot you off the table, using him as some protection for the Caligrave to sort of move up the table with those 2 pieces. Miyari definitely sitting in the center of all your Venari troops. There's just a few things you could probably do with this. Now, you don't have to pick that Windcharge. You could definitely pick up a Venari Dawn Rider, which is a much more combat-orientated, fast-moving cavalry piece. It does lack a little bit of movement, but you do get defensive 4, which is nice. So that's something definitely to think about. But you've also got the option of potentially taking more Stone Guard as well. Or potentially, maybe if you're looking for another movable character, you can maybe look at putting a Cenari Lawseeker in there as well. Well, that's the end of the video. Thank you all for watching. Please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And if you enjoyed this video, let us know down in the comments below what you enjoyed about it. If you'd like to come chat more with me and other members of our little fine community here at Sinful Gaming, you can do so by joining our Discord server, which is linked down in the video's description. And lastly, if you'd like to help support the channel financially, you can do so by joining either our Patreon or YouTube members. Our YouTube members will get access to some cool little emojis you can use during live streams, and also to comment on some of our posts and on our videos with, and you'll get your name with a special little icon on it as well on YouTube. Our Patreons and YouTube members will also get a name up in a special colour in our Discord server as well. And finally, you'll get a shout out from us as well on Patreon or YouTube members at the end of every video that you have helped support. Thank you to our Patreons, Christian Weir, James Soren, Greenskins Gaming, AJC, Kenny Lyle, Outer and Shop First, Andrew Bowen, Nathan Fee, The Rising 8, Q Dynamic, Agu, Anthony B, Anton Nilsson, JJ Austrian, Average Wargamer, Domir, Mark Harvey, and James Cater. And a special thanks to our YouTube members, Green Roots Gaming, Kenton Young, Chris Wallace, Ronya, Vinny, Lockloric, The Johnny84, David Ellsworth, Revenar, Wolfred Nick, Broken Shelf, Adriana Edwards, and Sean Scott. And a special thanks to, first of all, Lady Witchfox Art, who does all the amazing artwork you can see pictured here for the channel, and to Xmorphic, who does all the amazing background work for the channel. And that's it from us today. Please don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and comment down on the video below. Stay safe, everyone, stay well, and most of all, keep fighting that war against the grey. Ciao for now.